step away from Peru's Inca Trail to these 5 lesser-known wonders. Beyond Machu Picchu, these destinations reveal a side of the country that most visitors miss, from volcanic cities and canyon villages to sacred lakes and jungle getaways. As an alternative to visiting Machu Picchu, travelers can opt to explore other places in Peru, like Arequipa, surrounded by 5 volcanoes and home to the monastery of Santa Catalina. Gabby Salazar, National Geographic Image Collection. Most first-time travelers to Peru head straight for the Inca Trail and Machu Picchu, perhaps pausing in Lima for fresh ceviche, but rarely venture further. Yet beyond the well-trodden paths lies a tapestry of unsung towns and landscapes, from snow-capped volcanoes and scarred canyons to floating islands and the world's highest navigable lake. As a Peruvian, I believe Peru's magic lies not only in iconic sites but also in smaller towns and remote landscapes where traditions thrive and still shape daily life. Where travelers can go beyond the standard route, exploring heritage, rural culture, and centuries-old agricultural practices that are very much alive, says Lorenzo Macias, head of commercial at Andean, a family-owned hospitality company specializing in immersive journeys across Peru. These 5 destinations not only offer genuine encounters, sustainable experiences, and a deeper connection to the country, but also help combat over-tourism in Peru. See our practical guide to visiting Peru. 1. Arequipa. Peru's second-largest city is surrounded by 5 volcanoes, with the snow-capped cone of El Misti dominating the skyline. Sunlight reflects off the chalk-white sillar stone, a type of volcanic rock, that defines the city's colonial architecture, earning it the title of the White City and recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At its center, the picturesque Plaza de Armas, a town square, is framed by palm trees and elegant arcaded balconies. On its northern edge rises the Basilica Cathedral, a neoclassical masterpiece carved from sillar. The Church of La Compañía de Jesus, dating to 1590, is adorned with intricate Baroque mestizo carvings, a fusion of European and indigenous artistry that winds across its facade. Walk through narrow, cobbled streets painted in vibrant cobalt, terracotta, and saffron hues, passing clusters of nuns' cells, cloisters, and flower-filled courtyards at the monastery of Santa Catalina, an expansive, walled citadel often described as a city within a city. The Santa Teresa convent, still active, doubles as a living museum, displaying centuries of sacred art while maintaining the rhythms of monastic. Step back in time at the 16th-century cloister turned circa Relais and Chateau's hotel with volcanic stone walls, vaulted ceilings, and wrought iron chandeliers. The smell of Palo Santo drifts through the corridors. The rooftop terrace, shaded by white canopy sails, opens onto sweeping views of the historic skyline and the surrounding volcanoes, which glow in the evening light. Nearby, Mercado San Camilo captures the pulse of daily life. Its aisles brim with hand-woven alpaca textiles, straw hats from southern Peru, and figurines of Iquico, the Andean god of abundance, who carries miniature goods symbolizing prosperity. Stalls overflow with local produce, pyramids of Amazonian fruit, bundles of medicinal herbs, and an astonishing variety of Peru's 4,000 types of potatoes. Peru's vast Calca Canyon in Arequipa, south of Lima, is the world's second deepest gorge that gives birth to the mighty Amazon River. The canyon, which plunges to depths of 11,110 feet and stretches more than 60 miles in the volcanic highlands of Peru, is a remarkable natural feature. STR New Reuters Redex. Arequipa's culinary traditions reflect the city's richness. Classic dishes include ricotta relleno, a spicy red pepper stuffed with meat and cheese, camarones al estilo arequipino, river crayfish prepared in hearty stews or warm ceviche, and the city's beloved dessert, queso helado, a frozen treat flavored with cinnamon and coconut, churned by hand in wooden barrels and served in the plazas. Go on a luxury rail journey through Peruvian mountains. 2. Yenque. Reaching the Andean town of Yenque requires a long journey along the Pan-American Highway, which winds its way into the mountains and climbs routes that soar above 16,000 feet. The road unravels into zigzagging trails that thread through remote villages, past terraces carved by the Inca, cultivated with potatoes, quinoa, and maize. In 1934, National Geographic explorer Robert Shippey described Yenque as a half-forgotten town in the world, and the description still rings true, a quiet square, a handful of shops, and silence broken only by the wind sweeping through the valley. Its crown jewel is the Colca Canyon, one of the world's deepest gorges, shaped by wind and rain-sculpted cliffs, scarred earth, and distant snow-capped summits. At dawn, head to the high lookouts near Cruz del Condor to watch one of Peru's most iconic spectacles, the flight of the Andean condor, a bird revered for its spiritual significance, serving as a messenger between the earth and the heavens. These immense birds, with wingspans stretching up to 10.5 feet, 3.2 meters, rise on thermal currents and glide silently between the canyon walls. A short boat ride to Tequil Island, a UNESCO-recognized cultural landscape, unveils stone paths that lead past terraced farms where potatoes and quinoa are grown. Villagers in richly embroidered costumes carry on traditions passed down through generations. Distinctive woven hats and shawls reveal social status, community roles, and even marital intentions, making textiles a living language of identity. From the hilltops, panoramic views stretch across trumpet flower gardens to the luminous expanse of the lake. At Titicaca, sleek rooms overlook a tranquil counterpoint to the energy of Puno. Spend days kayaking along reed-lined coves, hiking into birdwatching trails, or swimming in the bracingly clear water. In the evening, join a sundowner on the lawn, a fine dinner overlooking the lake, and guided stargazing. Hike and explore Inca ruins on Lake Titicaca's largest island. 5. Nada. Deep in Peru's northern jungle lies Nada, a small riverside city in the Loreto region that serves as the gateway to the Amazon, with the feel of a frontier town. Colorful wooden houses line narrow streets, moto taxis buzz past open-air markets, and life revolves around the water. Just outside the city, the Marañón and Ucayali rivers converge to form the Amazon, a dramatic meeting point that marks the symbolic birthplace of the world's largest river system. From Nada's Malecon, riverfront promenade, watch fishing boats drift along the currents, and embark on Delphin Amazon cruises, one of Peru's luxury cruise operators that works alongside isolated communities to help preserve traditions and build sustainable livelihoods. Our natural response has been to design a mechanism for change, what we now call the BioRest program, biocultural restoration, for restoring biodiversity, protecting native resources for future generations, and carrying ancestral knowledge into modern conservation. We want every traveler who joins us to step into a living cycle of conservation and culture, where livelihoods remain in harmony with the forest and its creatures, and where we hope to continue inspiring extraordinary collaborations, says Delphin founder, Aldo Machiavello. Their boutique riverboats are designed with panoramic windows and open decks, offering uninterrupted views of the jungle as they venture deep into the Pacaya-Samiria National Reserve, an 8,030 square kilometer protected area known as the Jungle of Mirrors for its glassy blackwater lagoons that reflect the forest canopy. 3- and 4-night cruises include excursions to spot pink river dolphins, guided walks through flooded forests alive with monkeys and macaques, and night safaris to listen to the chorus of frogs and insects under a sky crowded with stars. The experience blends comfort with exploration, offering intimate access to one of the most biodiverse corners of the planet.